Now, Mr. Pence, you have been so outspoken about your faith throughout your career, and sometimes that's come with criticism. How did you and your family deal with the criticism surrounding you practicing the Billy Graham rule and how outspoken you are about that?
Well, thank you for knowing it was the Billy Graham rule. That was
I'm a
where
pastor's kid.
that was how where I was inspired, Leah, when I was elected to the Congress of the United States. Um, we I was aware of Reverend Graham's practice and his life of integrity and the impact that he had for the gospel all over the world. And his family, his extended family, have become dear friends of ours since. But he was my inspiration, and I must tell you, the first time that practice was reported was in 2001, when a publication known as The Hill simply wrote an article about our family because we moved our family and our young children to Washington, D.C. while I was serving. And they just wanted to speak to us about, our lifestyle and how we manage things. It was reported without controversy, but after I became vice president, in an article that was otherwise pretty flattering about my wife, the article also mentioned that practice that came to be known as the Pence rule. And I must tell you, for us on those right, we in that case it was remarkable that we were being criticized for you know putting a premium on respecting our marriage and avoiding the appearance of impropriety, and also creating conditions in the workplace that were respectful of the men and women that worked with us. Um, but it wasn't long after that criticism came that the Me Too movement emerged, and many really tragic stories occurred out of corporate America. And I'm pleased that some positive changes have happened in workplaces around the country. But for us, I can tell you, whether it was that criticism or whether it was when Mrs. Pence, as Second Lady of the United States, was actually criticized for teaching at a Christian school in suburban Washington that adhered to a biblical view of marriage. We take those things in stride. As the Bible says, we count it all joy.
Yeah. Well, what would you say to critics who say that the Billy Graham rule puts women trying to get mentorship to further their careers at a disadvantage if they can't spend time with their male mentors? I know that was a common criticism I saw. How do you respond to that?
My first lieutenant governor when I was governor was a woman who did a phenomenal job and has gone on to lead the largest community college system in the country. We had women in senior leadership positions in my offices in Congress, on my cabinet when I was governor. I recruited women to our cabinet when I was leading the transition during our administration, and was proud of the team that we built. But the notion that you have to have a private dinner out with a member of your staff, male or female, I think just it I think it doesn't give enough credit to men and women in the workplace. I mean, the women that worked for me over the years not only understood our rule, but they appreciated it, they respected it. It was a way of showing respect to them as well, and it never hindered their advancement in our organizations. And so many of them not only achieved senior positions in our various offices that we held, but have gone on to extraordinary careers in their own right.